Go for it.
Well, hello everyone. My session is called Breaking Down the Walls of the Classroom, One City-State at a Time. I've been playing a social media video game with my 9th graders in Greece and Rome history class. I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's called Sparta, War of Empires. Now, I'd love to introduce myself as just another history teacher, but I'm not anymore. I'm now a Greek archon of a powerful city-state of a level 71 that's nothing to shake a stick at. I have a lot of responsibilities here because my main mission is to develop this Greek hero mythos. I also need to figure out how to build my city-states so that I can anchor and take care of the rest of my team. With resource production, armies for security and defense, very much like the content and curriculum that we've been talking about when we do things like reading textbooks. One of the main aspects of Greek history is the fact that resources were hard to come by, so one of the things I do on a regular basis is go out and spy on all of these other cities and raid them for their resources. I distribute those back to the rest of my team. So when we talk about geography in this ancient Greek context, that's actually very much part of the history that I'm trying to get across. So let's not just talk about history, let's actually talk about the challenges of communication and the challenges of resource production and distribution in forming teams. Now, I've also got a number of these different students in my class that have been developing their own city-states and have become powerful in their own right. These are fairly sizable cities. So what I've done is asked them to become their kind of regional commanders as we're spread out all over this virtual map. Now, I've also put up the list of rankings that you can attain in my classroom, and you know that 9th grade girls want to one-up each other all the time. So there's become this kind of unspoken aspect of competition that's been going on in my classroom, so the game has been driving itself. Now, not every student is into this kind of thing, right? There's a certain level where all you have to do is play so that you can make these content connections. This particular student's only a level 13. She's clearly not a gamer, right? Versus this student here, who's been totally geeked out on it. This student was with me at the very start of the school year and hasn't actually been in my class for 2 months. But yet she is interested enough in this game that she's been the actual leader of the project for the students who are with me now. So when I talk about tearing down walls, what do I actually mean? I teach ancient history to 9th graders. I don't want to just do that in a book. I want to physically go to that place. When I look at this image, to me, that's what ancient Greece actually is. Let's go find it, right? So what I have to do as a teacher is think about what are my content and curriculum, and how do I actually organize daily activities for my girls to go out and actually conduct. So we're spreading ourselves all over the map with different specific missions that they have to go through. One of those main missions is actually this historical epic battles that Greece and Persia actually fought. And we spent a lot of time going out and thinking about, was Greece ever an empire? Only in the sense that we were trying to go out and fight off these Persian positions. That's a historical fact. Now, actually fighting these Persian positions is a great way for these girls to level up, gain experience, and actually build armies for themselves. So there's some incentive in it as well for that kind of competition aspect. The bigger problem, though, is the fact that the Greek city-states historically were always raiding each other, and that's something we talk about a lot. My students have been getting raided by people all over the world, from Austria and Paris and Berlin. And they're constantly asking me for help and supervision. So I say, well, actually, let's start talking about digital diplomacy. You know, how often do we actually talk to kids about responsible digital citizenship? They have to have an opportunity to actually build and manage those skills. And this is a great way to actually do that. How do you turn foe into friend? So I've also spent a lot of time thinking about the fact that I found this game casually playing Facebook one day. It was one of those Facebook suggested apps, and I said, hey, I teach Greek history, let's give it a try. And I sent a photo of my students kind of casually playing to the Twitter feed, and it started this collaboration between me and the game designers, where they have actually built us cities and had one of their historians actually come into class and give us a really in-depth history lecture about that epic battle between Greece and Persia. But when I talk about tearing down walls, I talk about fundamentally changing the nature of the study of Greek history, because my students have taken over. I put this up on the board one day and said, what do we do with this? Let's actually figure out how to do it. By the time I got done brushing my teeth, my personal city was a level 20, and I had started at that moment. Right? The kids did that because they were excited. So my question for you is, would you like to come and join us? This is free to sign up. And what I'd like everyone to do is actually think about starting this if you're a history teacher, because you can come and actually work with us and my students and get some feedback from them. So you can do the low-hanging fruit and send me an email. I'd rather have you actually send me a tweet. I'd really rather have you find our game city, though. If you find us in the coordinates here, and ping me and let me know you were at our session. That's how we connect. So thanks.